Now this was Tuesday, June 4th at the Orville Airport, and this is being filmed by my friend Mary and her dad Hank. He does the still pictures, but she did these videos. So after I took off, I went out and met them at the after bay, where I did various passes, and Hank took a bunch of pictures. So at the end of this video, there will be a slideshow of the pictures that Hank took. But this picture we see right now is taken with a GoPro camera, and it's on the nose, top of the nose of the Kasperwing. A little bit of shaking at that because of the RPMs. It smooths out in a bit. Now this is filmed with a SJ-Cam 5000X Elite. It's on the right wing, and the one that's facing backwards is a $40 dash cam video. So off I go. Got a lot better thrust than I've had in the past. This was my first flight with my 3-blade Duro prop. I'm wearing a helmet cam, but it wasn't positioned properly, so I only have it in one section of the video at the landing. Now I'm flying almost over. It's just actually to my right. Their house on the right, that's where I had my forced landing. So that was the property I had to go through to get in and out of getting my wing that was on the ground. I'm kind of flying low. I'm looking down to see if anyone's home. I was going to wave to them. But nobody was home. I'm only at about 150, 200 feet. The plan was to fly over and meet my friends at the after bay so they could take pictures of me flying by. Hank's an avid photographer and he just loves this stuff. So now the main picture is a camera that I had on the left wing, and it too is a $40 dash cam video. But for some reason it stopped operating after 13 minutes into the flight, so I don't have a lot of footage from it. I think the vibration somehow shuts off the cameras. And the right wing video, which you see there, it lasts for about 30 minutes. So I use it quite a bit in this, but it ends up dying before the end of the video. This is now back to the GoPro camera on the nose. And I've cut out some video at this point. So now what I'm doing is I'm going over looking at Highway 162, which is running left and right here in the screen. And I'm looking for my friends to see if I can find them on the road. So I was basically killing a little bit of time so I can meet with them. I'm facing north right now, and I'm going to turn and head east a bit. I stay around 100 to 300 feet for most of this early part of the flight, and later on I get up to 1100 feet. Now the airport's right off to the right over there. The greenery to the right is the golf course, and the white golf ball looking thing over there, that's a Doppler radar. And there's a subdivision of homes that's right there next to the Doppler radar. So I'm scanning the highway that runs right to the north of golf course there. Now this is where you can see a comparison of the GoPro camera, the main body camera, and the right wing camera, which is the SJ cam. You can see I think the colors are much richer in that SJ cam than the GoPro. It has all the same functions that the GoPro has. And it costs a whole lot less. I cut out a little bit of video there, but that's where I saw them on the road, and I know that they're arriving over there at the afterbay. So I'm getting myself ready to do some passes. There we go. So there's the right wing video complete. My radio was not working. So when I put my left hand up there, I'm trying to send out a signal because my push to talk button didn't work. That's on my yoke. So the push to talk button didn't work, the radio didn't work, and I couldn't figure out why it worked the other day. But no. So I have that instrument pod that I've installed, and on that I have a cell phone that's mounted on there that I don't use as a cell phone. I use it for the applications in it. One of the applications is an altimeter, which works off of air pressure, so you can reset it, calibrate it to 0 when you take off. And I can flip applications over to GPS, which gives me my ground speed, my fastest ground speed, and the distance traveled total. So that was a nice addition. So here's the rear view camera. And you can see how that helmet cam, and I got it mounted too far back on the helmet, so I got that moved up now. So the next time out it should be a whole lot better. And the microphone wasn't working either. I've got that fixed. That's why I'm doing this current voiceover, because I was calling out altitude and whatever else, so you'll see me talking, thinking I was being recorded. Back to the left wing camera, which is mounted not quite as far out as the right wing camera is, which that's what this one is. It was suggested that since I do fly over water, to have a safety razor, one of those seatbelt razors, to get out if I just happen to have to go down in water. So I've got one right up above the keel up there. Yeah, about mid-throttle I was getting more vibrations than when I was up at full throttle. If you notice up there next to the instrument pod, I have a fly reel that's up there. I'll talk about that. You can see it in the rear view next time around. There they are. And the fire department happened to be out there as well. They said they were out there watching me fly and hung around for a while, then they left. So I took off at approximately 8 o'clock. 8:01. Sunset is at 8:30, which allowed me to fly till about 9 o'clock. But I only flew for about 38 minutes, I think it was. Again, you can see the better color with the SJ cam. Can't see my fly reel that's up behind the picture-in-picture there. Anyway, what that fly reel is for, it's to set up another camera, a chase camera, which I will run off a line off the wingtip, but I can't run the line out very far because I don't want it to interfere with the propeller at all. But I'll be able to reel it out and reel it back in. Which will eliminate all the vibration that we see in these videos and get a different point of view. So that'll be down the road a ways. Since I got the rudder cables adjusted, this thing just handles so nice. And with the 3-blade prop, it's got a lot more thrust than I have ever had before. So even though I didn't have the radio operational, I do have an MP3 player, which I'm touching right now, and I'm able to listen to music if I so do choose. And here I've put the GoPro in the smaller picture-in-picture. I'm waving off to him saying, okay, I'm out of here. Enough of this flying by and doing that kind of stuff. I wanted to see what kind of altitude I could get out of this thing. And I really didn't push it. I didn't give it full throttle and say, okay, I'm going to get up there as fast as I can. I did it in a gradual sense. Next time I go out, I'll see about climb rate and what I can do and how fast. So I'm now traveling in a southerly direction, and I'm going to cut out some of this video. But I travel in a southern direction, and then I turn around and head north again. And that's where I'll get up to 1,000, and my highest was 1,100 feet. The reason I'm doing this voiceover is because I've played around with this video editing and found that I could lower the volume of the motor, and I could do a voiceover without much difficulty. So that's what I'm doing. So now I'm making my turn, head back north again. And as you know, Oroville has the Oroville Dam, and this is one of the storage areas of water that they use. It's interesting how it's used. They let the water out, and it first goes into an area called the forebay, which I'll be over here in a little bit, and then from the forebay it goes through a generation area and into this afterbay. So during the summer, when there's high energy peaks, they run the water down through the dam and the various other power plants through this whole system. Then the evening time, when the water or when the power is not as demanded, they actually pump back water from this afterbay and the forebay. They pump it back up into the lake to conserve the water so they can run it back through again the next day during the high peak energy usage. So I thought that was interesting how they do that. Now here you've got the northern part of the afterbay and a lot of rice fields. And you can see where the rice fields start and the afterbay ends. It's right between those two sections where Highway 99 runs up. There you can see it again in this picture. So as I was flying north and gaining altitude, I'm probably at, probably about 1,000 feet here. But in any case, this is where I thought, hey, this is kind of neat. The sun's setting. I'll turn my wing right to the sun and catch it on my cameras. So there we go, rice fields and the sunset. I didn't want to go any more to the west, so I decided if I'm going to get the sunset in the picture, I'm going to just do a 360 here and burn off a little bit of direction. Also to give a view of Oroville and the After Bay and everything that you can see from this angle in the 360. So that's a good view of the After Bay. Along the western side of it, you can see it's a straight edge. It's built up like a dam, that whole distance. As soon as the sun sets, I change direction. So now I'm going to head east. Couldn't see it in the video, but the sun actually, you can see it drop behind. Video doesn't pick that up. So in the picture-in-picture, as we look east, that body of water that's up there, that is the forebay. And I cut out some of the footage of that, and so now we're up onto the forebay. And this ridge that's below me here is Sugarloaf. And I'll be coming up on what's called Sugarloaf Peak. And there's a dirt road that's down there on the right, and that's from the road called Nelson that runs out of Oroville. But I wanted to fly here at Sugarloaf because when I was taking hang gliding lessons and owned a hang glider, I really wanted to fly over here at Sugarloaf Peak, which is also has a nickname of being called the Tit. So this is my first time I've flown over the Tit before in another ultralight, but this is the first time in my ultralight that I'm flying over. And you can see a fire break road that's down there. That's the road you have to walk up, hike up, if you fly your hang gliders there. So you can see the peak coming up right about center screen. And just this side of the peak is where the hang glider pilots take off, and they soar this ridge back and forth that's facing north to the left, as we're facing east right now. So the airspace that I'm in right now is airspace that the hang glider pilots fly in, and we're almost above the takeoff and landing zone for the pilot. So there's Sugarloaf Peak, aka the Tit. I made a separate video of this section, and I made it for the Cloud Streak gang. They're the hang glider pilots out of Chico who fly here on a regular basis. And you see the picture got fuzzy. I was dropping RPMs. And this is the forebay. really green out here about a month ago. Straight ahead is you can see the dam up there in the kind of the valley up there, or area between the hills. So now I'm going to swing left and head back west again, following the ridge, the north-facing ridge. It's kind of like a north-northwest face. The wind was coming in from the south when I took off, about 3 to 5 miles per hour. I was thinking, okay, I could go back the way I came, or I could cross over the forebay. And that's exactly what I decided to do. And I also thought, well, I'm going to cross over at the narrowest point, which is Nelson Road right there. Now it's paved at this point. Off to my right, it's about half a mile, quarter of a mile is where pavement ends. In fact, you can see it now in the backwards video there. The rear view video. Just off screen is where it stops. Right where the fire break road comes in and meets it. Anyway, I cross over here at the narrowest part of the forebay. So I'm thinking, oh, I could do some other flying around, but I think I've done enough. So I'm just going to head on in. It's almost a straight line up here with the runway. Various people I've talked to, they seem to watch the takeoff and then they fast forward or skip over to the ending to watch the landing. So that's why on the takeoff I ended up having 2 different points of view on that one, and I'll have 2 different points of view on the landing as well. This is where I use the helmet cam footage because you can see how I'm crabbing in, and that means so what's happened is the wind's changed direction from the east. Now it's still not very strong at all. It's 3, maybe 4 miles an hour. So there's a point in time I'm thinking, I might decide to swing around and hit the other runway and and go into the wind, but I thought, nah, this isn't that bad. I need to see how we can do a crosswind landing. So there in the just below Sutter Buttes down there, you can see there's the runway, and you see how I'm crabbing in. I'm kind of askew a little bit. You can get a little bit of my altimeter there in the top of the screen. In the bottom part, that's my MP3 player. They dug up and got rid of all this runway not too long ago. There used to be all runway right underneath me right now. And they added this little taxiway right in here. Yeah, the windsock was right to the left there. So I'm crabbing in. Here we go. You notice when I hit the ground, I've got to turn my yoke to the left once I'm on the ground. There. Okay, now the other point of view. The GoPro camera in the top and my $40 dash cam. So I started with about 4 gallons, not quite 4 gallons of gas. And hopefully the next time my microphone will work on my helmet cam and I won't have to do this voiceover again. So by adding in the beginning and ending and the takeaway that I took out in 2 or 3 spots, comes out about equal. See right there, I could have just made a left turn and gone down that runway. Anyway, the video length is about equal to the total flight. Boy, I'm looking stressed out on that face, huh? I didn't feel stressed out. Now, at the end of this video, remember there's also a little slideshow of the pictures that Hank took. Here we go. Well, thank you for watching. Appreciate all the support I get from everybody. we will see you the next time around. Yep. But 10 more seconds. There we go. The Kasperwing. What an incredible ultralight. Goodbye.